Myles.
How we doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has. We'll start with Jacques.
Hey, Miles. It's been a long time since we talked to you. Like Brent said, when you got hit at Missouri that day, you ran right back into the huddle and you played the whole game. It's hard to believe that you wouldn't play again after that. Was that adrenaline that led you through that game that day? And just take me through your thoughts of that hit, and you thinking you play the next week or the week after that, or
Right.
how did
Yeah.
that?
It was actually it was right after that hit on the sidelines. It was the touchdown pass to Terrence, right on the goal line, and then the defense lineman landed on me from the back, and I just kind of felt everything just tear apart at that point. But I mean, that was the second or third series of the game, so we had a lot more ball to play, and I wasn't gonna give up on those guys. And yeah, adrenaline did have a lot to do with it, but also the fight within myself had a lot to do with it as well. So we finished as strong as we possibly could, and then I went and got some medical attention after that.
Yeah, I guess how much can you kind of walk us through? I mean, I know there was a debate over whether there would be surgery or not, and just what these last few months of recovering have been like.
Yeah, it's been crazy. It was probably the strangest injury that I have had. I saw a lot of doctors. We sent the MRI to NFL teams, to professional baseball teams, to professional golf coaches, anything, tennis, anything with like the torquing of the lower abdomen, just to see if they had any advice. And no one had ever seen an injury like this in this exact spot that I had it. And so the doctor I went and met with here in Baton Rouge pretty much told me that I had two options. I could either let my body heal it on its own and take it literally a day at a time. And I know that's very cliche for life, but it was literally a day at a time to see if my body would heal it on its own. And if not, he said we could do surgery. But I personally have never done surgery on this. He said, so we'd be naming the surgery after you if you wanted to. And I didn't really feel that comfortable with that. So I was going to, give my body healing it on its own the time. And obviously, if worse comes to worse, then I would have gone with the surgical route. But it was just, it needed time. And it was very frustrating because it was a very, very, very slow healing process. And it was literally a week at a time. And I would heal increments at like 5% at a time, and I was down at zero. So I would, 5, 10, 15, and then I'd be able to pick up a ball and I'd be able to just flick my wrist and throw a ball. And then, so it was a very difficult process. But I feel 100% now. I've been back in the weight room since we got back in January. I feel 100%. I feel strong. I feel healthy. And I'm ready to go.
I have a couple questions. I guess to the extent you're comfortable, tell us what happened.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, it was on that hit right after I got hit on the sidelines. It was actually on the pass to Terrence, the touchdown throw, and I was rolling out to my right, and I threw the pass, and the defensive lineman just tackled me from the back, and I remember my right knee got stuck in the turf, and so that was the first thing that hit, and then his body weight just came on from behind me and just kind of stretched my abdomen. Like half my body was going towards the ground, and the other half was getting hit from the back. And it kind of just ripped, those muscles in my lower abdomen. Obviously, at the time, I didn't know that, but I could feel something was wrong. And then later with MRIs, we came to find out that I had a few torn muscles and ligaments.
Okay. And what is your concern for, causing injury again?
Yeah, I mean, that was one of my biggest concerns. Going through the recovery process with Doc was just, what are all the options, and if this, what are the chances of this happening again? And pretty much what he had said is, once this muscle scars down on its own, it's pretty much it's reattached itself, and then I just have to continually build and grow that muscle. I mean, injuries happen in football, and I can't play scared, and if a freak thing happens and that same spot gets injured again, then it was meant to be to get injured again, But I just can't let that affect my play and be worried about re-injuring that spot, because I feel I've done a really good job, and our training staff has done an amazing job helping me rehab and recover and get back to where I am today.
I wanted to ask you about the quarterback battle. As a guy that's has just as good a shot to win it as he does to lose it, what do you want out of the coaches and how they handle it and how you guys go about competing for that position.
Yeah, I mean, this spring I'm really focused on getting myself better. And, it's been a long time since I've been out with the team and getting to gel with my guys again. It felt really good to be out there with a helmet on and a football on Tuesday. There's a few things that I want to perfect and critique on myself. And so I think spring is a perfect time to do that since we're not having to worry about, competing against an opponent every week. And that's my main focus this spring.
Hey Miles, this is Glenn West. Hope you're doing well, man. Yeah, just kind of take us back to, I guess, maybe when you first started to feel like yourself again, and then also, Cobble just mentioned the quarterback battle. I mean, just what is the development you've seen maybe from some of the other guys that are going for that spot, and just how is this as strong a quarterback room that you think you've ever been a part of, or that's ever been at LSU?
Yeah, I mean, I felt myself probably late December, early January, right after the Ole Miss game when we had those few weeks off. And I had talked to Doc and our training staff, and we said we were just going to take a few weeks off from rehab and just let the body just heal and see if that, because we were doing rehab every day. So it was kind of like sometimes I would feel like I would aggravate it a little bit, but we were just going to say hold off on it for 3 weeks, and we'll make a final decision when we come back. So I think when we came back in January, right to start the spring semester, I felt good, and I started working out, and nothing gave me any issues, and so that's when I continued to do what I was doing. And yeah, I mean, we have a very strong quarterback room. We have a lot of talented guys in there, and I'm excited to go out there and compete with them every day and make each other better. But yeah, you would never have thought that LSU would have as strong as a quarterback room as we have now.
Hey, Miles, Garland here. You waited your turn. You get to be quarterback last season. You throw for over 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. Can you sum up? How did you think you did your first year? I mean, the numbers were there. What did you when you saw the film before your injury? How do you think you did in your 3 starts?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot that I had to improve on, and I was taking it a week at a time. And I personally took a lot of things away from the Mississippi State game. It wasn't perfect by any means, and I improved a lot for the Vanderbilt game. In terms of pocket presence and stepping up in the pocket and keeping my eyes downfield and things of that nature. And then I took things from the Mississippi State and Vanderbilt game, and I applied that to the Missouri game. And so each week I was, watching the film and okay, like this is what I needed to correct, and then I would apply that to the next week. And so I thought that I was on the right track. I was ascending and I was going upward in terms of learning from my mistakes from the previous week and making sure that those didn't happen the following week.
Hey Miles, how much are you seeing in this offense that you recognize, and what are the things that you feel how much do you see the similarities working with, and what's it like working with Jake Peets as a quarterbacks guy?
Yeah, Coach Beats has he's brought a new energy into the building, and I'm sure y'all have heard that a lot today. But it's true. He has a lot of energy to him. The biggest thing he wanted to do before he started with the X's and O's is he wanted to build a relationship with all the players, and he's done a tremendous job in that. He calls me 2-3 times a day just to check in. If I'm going home, he'll call me on the road, and it's beyond football, just see how life and parents and school and this and that, which is very nice. I've never had that from a quarterback coach or an offensive coordinator, so that was very nice, for that in that aspect. He's very smart. He brings a lot of knowledge to the table, and the biggest thing that he wanted to do when he came from Carolina was he wanted to learn our offense rather than him bringing an offense and make us learn it again. And so now he has made some additions that are going to help us tremendously, but the similarity is very similar. And we have a lot of returning guys and a lot of veterans that are obviously bought in. Like what it was said earlier, they didn't come back just to go through spring ball and fourth quarter another year. They came back to make a statement, to prove a point, and to get back where we all know we want to be.
Yeah, Miles, Ron Higgins, Tiger Rag. I must say you set the standard for deciding how to get surgery or not, but they name it after you don't get one. It's a pretty good answer. A new spring, it seems like every spring you're dealing with some kind of tweaks on offense. How many kind of tweaks or offenses have you gone through now? I'm trying to count them all.
I would say right when I got here in 2017, I was with Matt Canada. 2018 was Coach Ensminger. 2019, Coach Brady came in. Last year was back to Coach Ensminger, and this year it is Coach Pete's. So I guess you can say 5 different offenses. Some have been similar than others. I know 2017 Matt Canada was completely different than what we are doing now. But it's part of college football, and I've been fortunate enough to work with some really good offensive coordinators. But I'm really excited to have Coach Pete's in the building with us.
We have time for one more. We'll finish up with Shay.
Hey, Myles. A couple of guys earlier said that you were not just a leader on the offense, but the team this offseason. What's your mentality there going into the offseason? Like you said, finally getting back out there.
Yeah, it felt really good to be back with the team. That was one of the hardest things for me to go through during my injury, was just not being able to suit up with those guys every day during the week in practice, and especially on game days, because this is the stuff we're going to remember the most, But finally getting back into it in January, and I have the respect of everybody on this team and everybody in this building, and and everybody knows that, and I wanted to take my role and help get everybody in the team together, and you can lead if you're a senior, a junior, or a freshman that just got here. It doesn't matter how old you are. You can lead by example. You can lead by words. And so I think the biggest thing is that we don't need to have 10 leaders on the team. We can have all 100 of us being leaders. And so I think that's been an important thing, was just trying to set the example on the field and also off the field for these younger guys to realize this is how we do it here at LSU. And like it's really not that hard to lead. Just do the right thing when no one's looking, and make sure that your actions can back that up.
Thanks, Myles.
Thank y'all.
We're going to wrap up next with Kayshawn Booth.